Welcome back, guys, to another SCPH replay, and this time, it's gonna be a PBZ here on Simulacrum. So yeah, seeing Simulacrum yet again, that's a thing, and it's gonna be a little bit of deja vu here, and now, I'll be waking on up to have some action here on this map. But first things first, introducing our players here on the bottom right. We do have the red Protoss that is PsYcHiCmOn, and his opponents. Here on top left, it's gonna be the blue Zerg of Heisenberg. So he might be breaking bad and breaking the base of his opponent sometime soon. That's right. Here right now we have PsYcHiCmOn setting things up, and oh, this looks like he is gonna be on the defensive. Very interesting here from the Protoss already. He starts things off without the standard ramp here on the main ramp itself to, of course, your primary base. Basically, this means he is looking to basically wall things up, make funnels, make trenches, and survive inward rather than out. Problem here is this does a lot. Heisenberg, all the space in the world, anything can run up that ramp and just get scouting information, see what's happening. So he will be hugging this mineral line all throughout. And I'm very interested with the opening here from PsYcHiCmOn. He already builds 3 gates. It might actually be a 1 base all in by this point. And it's going to be a probe all the way onto the western quadrant of this map. Proxy might be into play. Yes, it is. So 4 gates all in, 1 base. Proxy there as well. Using that warp in speed time by building a gateway all the way on the west. Maybe it can go here onto the primary, but it'll take a little too long for my taste. I would say that that's going to be a 4th gateway there onto the western side. And someone has to look left, someone has to look at that corner for Heisenberg if he doesn't want to get surprised by all of this. In the meantime, though, we haven't talked much about our Zerg. We've been looking at that Protoss, and it seems like it was a pool first opening here, and now for Heisenberg, Hatchery does come online. But yeah, early aggression is in the cards here for Heisenberg. Already 4 Zerglings waiting down below. Sees that there is no natural, goes up on top, and sees there is no wall. So Heisenberg gonna get all the scouting information that he needs. He will also notice that the middle line is exposed. Probes already, 1 goes down, looking for another poke. It seems like the Zerglings will be able to just get the choose. Looking around, might get surrounded here, and now PsYcHiCmOn might have the advantage in this scenario. But oh, that's a number of workers actually going down. Good positioning here from Heisenberg, actually getting the reinforcements just in time because PsYcHiCmOn did not go for the surround. He decided, hey, I can try to tank this, and it blows up a little bit in his face. A spotter in the engine of the Protoss Armada by the starts, but it seems like that opening Stalker gonna be enough for PsYcHiCmOn to defend. And look at that, he's already positioning the Stalker inside that middle line just in case he needs to defend this. It will get hugged by the probes, and Zerglings, of course, they look for the surround, they look for the encircle like this part here onto the natural. But if it's only part of it, it's only gonna be half, maybe 1/4, and Zergling DPS gonna be pretty low in this regard. And speaking of regard, here comes Heisenberg yet again. It's time for the swarm of Zerglings to look around, making sure that there's nothing amiss on this main base besides that wall in behind. Stalker's now looking back on out. It's time to go for the brawl yet again. Zealot can be there. Good surround here, and now from the probes. And how many workers will go down is this scenario. It seems like the probes tanky enough, juggling around to go down already. But these Zerglings just dying left, right, and center. And speaking of the center force, the center part, 1 Stalker goes down. Here comes the warp in. Warp gate already finishing such a good addition to the Protoss race in this game. But overall, good defense there from PsYcHiCmOn. Heisenberg has the retreat, and it seems like he will keep up with the fight. So now Metabolic Boost is going to be into the cards. It's going to be a big upgrade to allow him to actually get in position a little better. But now it's going to be sentries actually in for PsYcHiCmOn. He will look for some force fields. He will look to wall on out. But I worry here for PsYcHiCmOn right now, as here comes the Zerglings yet again for Heisenberg, this time onto the western quadrant. Sentry's though fending that one off. And as I was trying to say, he hasn't really warped anything in on his proxy. He's been forced to defend thanks to the efforts here from Heisenberg. So honestly, it seems like this is a one way to go about things. Who needs to look for that proxy base when you can just keep on keeping on with a potential kill or 2? in a one-base scenario 2-2. This can be, honestly, Heisenberg taking the macro department and taking that lead. But by this point in time, PsYcHiCmOn just looking to saturate as much as possible, keeping up with that probe counts. 20 workers already to 15. As Heisenberg has fully committed on to keeping up with the Zerglings. Doesn't even have queens for the spawn larva. He only has one actually. That second hatch rate, not gonna have any of that, so macro really slipping here for our blue Zerg. But we'll see if we can go for the kill right here, right now, because there's a lot of Zerglings coming our way. How many is this? 58 and counting, looking for the surround, but that's a beautiful force field onto the eastern quadrant by that point. Another perfect surround here from PsYcHiCmOn, and he's just using all the tools in his trade by this point. But it's still looking scary because Heisenberg is keeping up with the pressure, keeping up with the flow, with the ebb. But look at that, yet again, just the funnel not working out here for Heisenberg. PsYcHiCmOn just walling himself in one more time. He is gonna be down on that worker count, so Heisenberg taking the lead by this point. And here we go yet again with another fight, with another brawl. But Heisenberg losing so much, PsYcHiCmOn doing the same. And it seems like it's gonna be a little bit of a reset here and now in this game. Both sides forced to use resources, losing a lot. The Twilight Cancel survives! And it's gonna be extra tech here and now for PsYcHiCmOn, but yet again, the warp cycle goes on the main base. And this is looking pretty exciting so far. Not gonna be out of the woods as of yet, because Heisenberg yet again going for the brawl. This time gonna take care of that Twilight Cancel. In the meantime, shield battery in production here and now for PsYcHiCmOn. And Heisenberg deciding, hey, I just wanna poke at this system later. Maybe I can go for the kill by this point. Zealot's gonna be looking to get the cleave on as well, but no dice there. And PsYcHiCmOn actually plugging the leak onto the eastern side. It's so difficult for the Zerglings to actually move on in. Look at the geometry from these buildings. Only this, only that, and this as well. It really does put PsYcHiCmOn in a scenario where he just defines the fights. And what if Heisenberg decides to go for the tech switch? But no, he really is out for blood, looking for the kill already, even on the worker count so far. But Heisenberg keeping up with his Zerglings yet again. Wants to go for the assimilator one more time. We'll shut it down, but does it really matter by this point? It seems like that is just a consolation prize here and now, as Heisenberg is waiting yet again for more and more reinforcements. And what they would love to see here from Heisenberg is he actually decides to go for some creep spread along the way. Just one creep tumor. Just one creep tumor would make a big difference, because that would make the Zerglings run faster as far as the creep can see. And faster these Zerglings can go means that they can go for a potential surround. But PsYcHiCmOn looking for the bait and switch, and here comes the bait, here comes the Guardian Shield, trying to mitigate some damage along the way, but does it even work in this regard, as the Zealots right now fighting for their lives, getting some honor, getting some glory. In the meantime, Twilight Cancel brought back online. Zerglings yet again keeping up with the flow. Overall, PsYcHiCmOn, such a solid defense so far with the cards that he dealt to himself. Like, looking at this, it feels like PsYcHiCmOn just decided to play with a bad hand over looking for a good one, and he's been able to survive so far. But Heisenberg just not letting up, not giving in. But at the same time, I feel like he can do just a little more in some regards in terms of that macro. If he went Roach, it might have been enough. If you actually go for a proxy hatch, it might have allowed the tide to go even further. And one more thing he could have done, go for 3 bases. Just go for the macro, take the lead by that point. Scout out potentially where the proxy is, just trying to figure out where all of that. But this aggression does allow him one thing. Since Heisenberg is really warping everything on the main base for the defense, this does mean that this proxy is just idle, is just passive, and will do absolutely nothing. So finally, PsYcHiCmOn plugging that hole. Shield batteries and 2 pylons. Not really the tankiest wall of them all, but I guess it will make 2 for now. It's like when you have a hole in your wall and you put scotch tape on it. You know, it's a temporary measure, but at least for now, there's no opening, to say the least. It's finally a little bit of a reset in this game. PsYcHiCmOn plugging the dam. Gonna be interesting enough, warping in more Zealots, just in case, still not using this proxy. And yay, finally, 1 Zealot warped in. Here on the left, Stalker gonna get spotted by the Overlord, and Heisenberg, will he wonder what is up with that? Cause, yeah, why are they going there? Here for Heisenberg, like thought process wise, why are they going there specifically? And the Overlord right now gonna be trying to fly on away, making sure it's gonna be staying alive. Stalker in the meantime poking at this balloon. And Heisenberg seeing that shield battery, I believe. Yes, he does. Sees the gateway as well. Know that the proxy is there. And just a body language from PsYcHiCmOn, very questionable honestly, sending all those in, exposing his own proxy by this point. But anyway, it seems like when behind, go for Dark Shrine. But is he even behind in this regard? Yes, it is, honestly, after all the pokes from the Zerglings and Heisenberg deciding to change the gear to a macro-oriented game. It seems like that the Zerg has decided to go into something a little different. Into Spire-Tech we go, and he's saving up on that gas. So this is going to be a big burst of Mutas in the air at the start. Might actually catch PsYcHiCmOn for a surprise. Now the Dark Shrine is built, and expecting of course Dark Templar immediately warped on in. At the same time, he does have Lair Tech, so can't go for an Overseer I believe. Interesting enough, we are going to get the Adept upgrade, but there are no Adepts in the field. Okay, so maybe it's the Stalker cosplaying as an Adept, but it does. It's like a future-proof thing. If you see a lot of Zerglings, then, well, you're going to do a lot of damage to them with the Adepts in the first place, but then it's going to be exposed, and that is going to be a cleanup on Isle Natural, but at the same time, Infiltration is here. Snake Eater gonna be crawling on in. This Queen is taking the brunt of the damage, and Heisenberg knows that something is amiss, and it seems like it's gonna be time for the Mutas to go in position. Now, by this point in time, if you notice what's happening to your base, you might wanna pop an Overseer, man. And it is gonna be a little bit panic mode actually here for Heisenberg. He's gonna send everything over all the way to the opposite base, and we are gonna be in a base race scenario. Very interesting. PsYcHiCmOn coming back with the Dark Templar in a regard like this. It's a little sloppy, that's for sure, but we'll make do, and we'll see how it's gonna go, as the wall right now gonna be penetrated basically by the swarm of the Zerg. This Will is up on top, focusing on the Stalker. A 1 point of contention is the Blink Stalker is coming online here, and now for PsYcHiCmOn. But why didn't it come online earlier? Could have been useful to micro against these Mutas. The Twilight Council working as hard as it could. But our Tosis Pylon here, and now powering the Dark Shrine as well as that Twilight Council rather. No Templar Archives as of yet, no High Templar on the field. It's the DT instead. Shield Battery gonna come over, and the Probes fighting for their lives yet again. Mutas though, poking as much as possible. Glaive Worms bouncing from that Nexus onto all those units, and it is gonna be just a mop up here. And now Scrap Metal is about golden plastic just dropping. It might be time here for PsYcHiCmOn to look for priority targets. He does have that Dark Templar, can clean up these Zerglings, but the Mutas of course cannot be touched unless he turns one of them into an Archon. He has 5 DT right now. Our Tosis Pylon gonna go down. Will the second fall as well? And it is gonna be the Blink Stalker. Will it actually come online? I know it doesn't matter, but it will be just not consolation prize. And speaking consolation, it is gonna be the spawning pool, the target here now for these DT. And Autumn Natural is actually mopped up by this point. PsYcHiCmOn though has been revealed, and oh, Blink Stalker is on. Oh, it's cancelled. Okay. I'm kind of sad. I thought it happened, and he also canceled the Adept upgrade. So yeah, interesting. I feel like PsYcHiCmOn losing out because of just those upgrades. If he had Blink Stalker, could have been a little better against those Mutas. Of course, it would be a lot more difficult, but if micro right, especially with the shield battery, could actually go for the anti-air. And by this point in time, what we have left on the field, 1 Zergling actually, 7 Mutas versus 5 Dark Templar. We saw a drone, but it died somewhere on the map. And no, oh, Heisenberg. Very, very smart. That's what that was all about. Sending the drone in, trading position. The Mutas, of course, can defend. And yes, with the Revelation gun, Heisenberg having the advantage. PsYcHiCmOn is looking around the map, making sure that extractors are not the only things there. He knows that his opponent is now hidden. But at the same time, does PsYcHiCmOn have a chance at this? He is being revealed, so his buildings on to the western side, that proxy gateway that has stood the test of time, is still alive and barely breathing. Even with that pylon to boot, another pylon gonna be the target. And where are the Dark Templar? Looking around the map, but PsYcHiCmOn doesn't know that it's just in his base. That is so unfortunate. And with the flight of the Mutalist, let's just keep up with this. It took a while for them to actually mop up that base, but there's so many other things going on the map. It was such a fun time. And now it's time for the swoop on in. And this might be the part where you can fall asleep, because Mutas take a while. As soon as it's piled down, pay attention. Now that DPS is low, yeah, this is gonna take a while. It's not gonna take forever, but that warp gate is gonna go down. Does it get spotted? No, the hatchery is safe. And GG, well played, Subot. But Heisenberg gonna take that victory. And yeah, the base race, completely unnecessary. One Overseer could have turned things around, clean up the proxy, and win with the macro. Kudos to PsYcHiCmOn, defending pretty well onto his mineral line, but I feel like Heisenberg just walked on that. And I believe that this is PsYcHiCmOn is off racing. He is off the higher right. Heisenberg in the meantime trying to climb the ladder around Diamond, if I remember correctly. And yeah, basically guys, a little bit of a redo here. No naps in this one. I felt like, hey, gotta check this out again. And it was a fun one. But you can just pretty much splice it over, put it in, and I'll see you guys in the next one.